If John Wick started his plan for revenge only because the dog, which was a gift from his deceased wife, was murdered, we do not know what Keanu should do after experiencing one of the most tragic lives in the world of Hollywood. All we know is that Reeves has not opted for revenge, but has become a grateful, kind, and wise person who runs away from any sentimental relationship for the fear of a possible misfortune. Stay with if you want to know why Keanu Reeves perfectly understands what John Wick is going through. Keanu's life was hard from the beginning because at age 3, his biological father, the geologist Samuel Reeves, abandoned his family. His mother, the designer and dancer Patricia Taylor, was a single mother. Because Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon in 1964, a territory that was ravaged by wars for a long time, the family had to move along with Keanu and his younger sister Kim to different locations, including Hawaii, Australia, the United States, and Canada. They were in search of a better future, better opportunities. During this time, his mother married several times, and although one of his stepfathers was a great support for him in his teens, Keanu kept thinking about his biological father. Samuel Reeves had a history of problems with justice and narcotics that eventually made him separate and lose his children. The last time the actor was in contact with him was when he was 13 on a short vacation that they'd had together. After that, he spent more than a decade without knowing anything about him. The last news he heard from his father was that in 1994, he was imprisoned for the possession of narcotic substances, and Keanu decided he would never try to approach Samuel again. Reeves, who since 1985 began to be recognized as an actor for his role in the movie Young Again, made a great friendship with another of the most famous young actors from the 80s, River Phoenix. Both met during the filming of the movie I Love You to Death, which was released in 1990. A year later, they appeared together on screen in the film My Own Private Idaho, 1991, partly thanks to Keanu, who recommended Phoenix and even convinced him to play the main character. During the filming of this project, River Phoenix developed an addiction that would later cost him his life. Only 2 years later, in 1993, unfortunately, Phoenix lost his life because of an overdose inside the Viper Room, the famous nightclub in Los Angeles where great movie personalities meet. At that time, Reeves was 29 years old, but the death of his best friend was not the last misfortune that he suffered. 6 years later, life hit him again, but this time even harder. In 1998, he met the woman of his dreams, Jennifer Syme, who was an assistant to the famous director David Lynch. As Reeves recalls, they fell in love instantly, and a year later they had their first baby. However, the birth of his first and only daughter was one of the most bitter moments of his life. On December 24, 1999, when the movie The Matrix had been released only a few months and had garnered great critical acclaim, his infant Ava Archer Symes Reeves was born dead. The sadness of losing a baby made Jennifer suffer from deep postpartum depression, and the couple eventually separated several weeks after this traumatic event. However, the actor's grief did not end right there. A year and a half later, Jennifer attended a party at the home of Marilyn Manson, and on her return, she had a traffic accident that ended her life. Although a friend gave her a ride and took her home, after taking antidepressant medicines, Jennifer decided to go back to the party. In a drunken state, she drove her Jeep and crashed into a row of parked cars. She was automatically thrown out of her seat and at the age of 28 lost her life. Reeves watched his world crumble again and blamed himself for what happened to his ex. Jennifer was buried next to her firstborn Ava. Since then, Keanu has decided to stay away from any serious relationships. In an interview in 2006, Reeves commented, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends. People have a misconception that you can deal with it and say, 'It's gone and I'm better.' They're wrong. When the people you love are gone, you're alone." Although this can be more than enough reason for many to lose all hope for life, Keanu has demonstrated himself as someone who is a strong and kind human being. Less than 2 years later, in 2001, Keanu stopped filming the Matrix sequel to help his sister. Kim Reeves was diagnosed with leukemia for the second time in her life. The actor did not want to lose one of his last loved ones and therefore flew from Australia to the United States to take care of her and be with her. Luckily, his sister recovered, and in less than 10 years, she was able to enjoy a normal life again. Keanu donated large sums of money to charitable causes related to this disease and even founded an organization for children with cancer, which is unknown and has been kept a secret for a long time. Keanu has established himself as one of the most generous people in Hollywood and has often been seen living a normal life, traveling through New York subway, eating at park benches, and even talking with pedestrians or vagabonds. For him, money is not very important, and we could spend hours talking about his goodwill. Reeves, after going through all of this, knows that happiness is no farther than maintaining contact with his loved ones, living a relaxed life, working, and riding his motorcycle. Do you think John Wick was tougher than the actor who plays him? Let us know in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.